Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear, and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. This is the Benchmade Osborne Proxy.
All right, here we have the Benchmade Osborne Proxy, the 928 in the packaging. The only reason I'm showing you the packaging is if you haven't seen their new boxes, they're really nice. It's nice to see companies step up their retail stuff just to make their things look nicer and feel nicer. And they just have these more sturdy, kind of better presentation boxes compared to what they used to have. Not that the old ones were bad, but hey, why not make it better? Nice squishy foam on the inside. Anyway, those are the new boxes if you haven't seen those yet. They still come in the nice soft holding or cleaning or carrying case, whatever you want to call these. You still get one of these with the knives. So that's a nice touch. They make a really great cleaner if you get gunk all over your blade. So here we are with the knife with the Proxy. So this is a Warren Osborne design. If you're not familiar with Warren Osborne, he is responsible for some of the most iconic Benchmade designs of all time. He did the Barrage. He did the 940. Those two alone put him above a whole lot of other knife makers just in terms of recognizability and just quality of designs. He's done a lot of other stuff. And this was announced, I think, in December of 2015, so December of last year, and they showed it at SHOT Show for the first time. And unfortunately, Mr. Osborne passed away in January of this year, which is really unfortunate. He was a nice guy. I met him a couple of times at trade shows in passing. And he was a good guy, made really good designs. So unfortunately, this will be one of his last designs, but it is a very, very nice one. So this is the 928 Proxy. Benchmade has not been known for their flippers. They haven't had a whole lot of them in the past. And this is a frame lock flipper. So you have titanium on one side, you have the G10 on the other side, you have a 20 CV blade. Big burly folder, really, really nice design. It's nice to see Benchmade going in this direction, and from talking to them, they're probably going to be doing more in this kind of general direction of the frame lock flippers, because I don't know about other dealers, but that's where we see a lot of our sales at Going Gear. From the other brands, and now that Benchmade is starting to come out with stuff like this, we see a lot of our sales in the frame lock flipper or just flippers in general, so it's really nice to see Benchmade dipping their toes in those waters and giving us some really nice designs. All right, I'm going to stare over at my computer while I read these off because I can never remember the specs off the top of my head. But the blade length on this, you're at 3.87 inches. You've got a blade thickness of 0.15 inches. The open length is 8.85 inches. You've got a closed length of 5.09 inches. Again, the blade steel is CPM 20 CV. You got a handle thickness of 0.5 inches and a weight of 4.6 ounces. Titanium on one side, G10, 20 CV, and then nice matching hardware all around. Got a pocket clip on there. You've got the triple screw or whatever you want to call this pocket clip. So it is compatible with pretty much any of the other Benchmade pocket clips. You can swap it out for another one if you don't like the look of that, or some of the aftermarket ones. You've got a lot of different options on there. But I like the pocket clips that they come with. I tend not to mess with my knives once I get them. So this is definitely one that I would leave on there. This is a flipper. So let's talk about the action on it. This thing, just because of the size and the weight of it, it's really hard not to properly deploy it. So when you get the action on there and you flip it, it's going to come out nice and smoothly and cleanly every time. Honestly, a lot of it's just going to be the virtue of the weight of the blade. You've got all that momentum with that big old blade coming out, and it kicks out there really, really well just with a little bit of pressure. You got the nice detent. And when that detent gives way, you've got enough pressure built up that it just flies open. I really like what they did with the flipper on this. I like the design on that. So there's no jimping on it, but you can see it sticks out enough and you've got it aggressive enough of an angle that you can get a really good purchase on it and have it not slip off your finger when you're trying to flip it. So some knives, they have kind of that small little angle on it. You got the little pyramid shape on there and your finger kind of slides over it. They don't deploy all that well. Not the case with this at all. It opens really, really well. You got the thumb stud as well, so if you want to open it with the thumb stud, just make sure your fingers are not on the lock bar, which is common with any frame lock because you can be pushing on it and creating tension where it's not going to make it open. So kind of rest your fingers on the pocket clip and just keep your other fingers down lower, and then you can use the thumb stud as well if you don't want to use it as a flipper. Really good ergonomics on this one, so it feels really good in the hands. No real hot spots. No jimping on the back of the blade, but this is large enough that you can kind of naturally put your thumb wherever you want and not really worry about it, and it's still comfortable. It slides around a little bit, but nothing too major. Maybe some heavy-duty tasks, you want to kind of be mindful of that since there is no jimping on the back of the blade. Really good texturing on here. It's kind of smooth, but still you can get a good grip on it. You can see I'm kind of putting a little bit of pressure on my thumb and moving it around, and it's basically just the skin that's moving around. Once the skin stops moving, my thumb stops moving. So you've got a good grip on that G10, and then you've got a nice matte texture on the titanium on the other side. So you got the same nice good grippiness on there. The backspacer back here is the same G10 material, and I can't really tell. I've looked at this really closely, and I'd probably know if I actually took it apart, but I'm way too lazy to do that. It looks like it's actually machined out of the same piece of G10 as this side. If it is not, then it's really impressive because I can't tell. That's some really super tight tolerances if these are two separate pieces. Really clean mating of there if it is two separate pieces. If not, it's machined out of the same piece because that's sure what it looks like. Titanium on the other side, you've got a lock bar insert in there. I've said this in several other videos, but it's really nice when companies do this. So this is a relatively new thing in the knife world, or relatively new to me anyway. 4 or 5 years ago, when you got something with a titanium frame lock or the mono lock or whatever Benchmade calls it, you had the titanium rubbing up against the steel of the blade. And a lot of people, especially knife guys, you flip this thing all day long. You flip it 10,000 times, and that titanium starts to wear down because titanium is a relatively soft metal. So you've got the wearing of the lock bar, and it makes it where it doesn't lock properly anymore. Instead of having to replace this entire side when you have issues with that, you can just replace that little insert. So really cool feature that you're starting to see on pretty much all high-end frame lock folders with the titanium that I've seen. Everybody's doing it, and it's a really nice touch because it works really well and helps increase the longevity and the cost of maintenance for your knife. Benchmade does have a lifetime warranty, and I'm sure that's something that would be covered under it, but helping them cut down their costs helps us as well. So it's nice to see companies do stuff like that. You can see the pivot on there. Got the screws, nice matching hardware, that thumb stud, that pocket clip. Got a little bit of a shiny look to it. And again, you can swap that out with something else if you like a different style from Benchmade or some aftermarket guy. Definitely a relatively large knife. So you're almost at 4 inches on the blade. It's on the large side, but it's lightweight. It's really lightweight. I've carried knives that are this size, actually even smaller than this, and they were heavier than this. So the titanium and the G10, you've got all the contouring, you've got all the cutouts, cut down on weight pretty significantly. I need to stop making videos at 1 o'clock in the morning. My speech skills go right out the window. But anyway, the weight is not bad. It's really comfortable in the pocket, and you don't notice it more than you would notice something that, had a ½ inch or an inch or less of a blade. So you can get that big blade if you like the big bladed knives and not have to worry about a big chunker of a folder if you don't want that. And it's still relatively slim. The design is pretty sleek and minimal, so you don't have this massive handle. It still fits really comfortably in medium-sized hands like I have. Okay, so there you go. That is the new Benchmade 928 Proxy designed by the late Warren Osborne. If you like it, you can buy it from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. Thanks for watching.